Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is our annual organizational meeting, and I'd like to welcome all of our board members who are here this evening, as well as anyone who is attending in person. This is an in-person meeting, and we're appreciative of the administrators who have attended during their summer vacation. So I appreciate Kara and Marty being here, and all the members of the public that are watching the meeting via the live stream. We will continue the live stream and the recording of the meetings because we found that to be very helpful to the community, but we will, moving forward, based on the current guidelines, have in-person meetings, and we will have the public welcome to attend those meetings. Without further ado, I would ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All board members are present, with the exception of Mrs. Skomersky, who is excused from the meeting. She had notified us that she had a prior vacation scheduled. I want to say I appreciate the board rescheduling the organization meeting to this week to accommodate my family vacation, which was very nice, and I really appreciate that. So, at the organizational meeting, historically, as required by the New York State Education Department regulations of the Commissioner of Education, we re-elect officers to the Board of Education. And at this time, I will call for any nominations of the board for board president. So are there any nominations for board president? Mr. Mann? Okay, Mr. Mann nominates Mr. Buno. Are there any seconds to the nomination? I'll have Mrs. Curtin seconded the nomination for Mr. Buno. Are there any other nominations for board president? Seeing no other nominations, I will ask for a roll call vote. Mr. Mann? Yes. Mr. Dunn? Mrs. Kennedy? Mr. Yeboah? Yes. Mrs. Taylor? Mrs. Curtin? Mrs. Muth? Okay, congratulations, Mr. Buno. You are re-elected to the President of the Board of Education. I appreciate your service. Thank you. Now it's yours. The meeting is yours.
Thank you to my colleagues. It's a rewarding position. I enjoy tremendously working with all of you here and supporting our school district and our families, our students. After a especially trying year, we hope for positive things in the future with reopening, and looking forward to working with everyone here this evening. So I will move to, do we want to do the oaths of office for the superintendent and the newly elected board members?
Oh, I skipped over a whole section. See how bad I am at being board
it
president?
was okay. We'll administer the oath of office to the superintendent. Jeannie?
Mr. Simons, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of superintendent according to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay, so we now have newly elected board members. Where we start? Okay. Start with our newest board member, Cheryl Kennedy. Why don't you grab Marissa's or...
Cheryl Kennedy, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education member according to the best of your ability?
So congratulations officially to Cheryl. And next, I think we have Frank. Right?
Frank Yeboah, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education member according to the best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations, Frank, on your reelection. We'll move to Joanne Taylor next.
Joanne Taylor, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education member according to the best of your ability?
Congratulations, Joanne, on your fifth term. Wow. Congratulations. And Mr. Dunn.
John Dunn, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education member according to the best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations, Mr. Dunn. Board members, do you want to make any comments? Newly elected board members at all? You're welcome to. The floor is yours. No? Okay. Thank you, Jeannie. Anything? What's next?
You're next.
I'm next. Oh, okay.
Michael Bruno, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education president according to the best of your ability?
All right, moving on our agenda, we have two board policies that everyone should have and sign off on and return to the district clerk, Jeannie. The school member board conduct and the acceptable use agreement for technology for board members. Moving on to the nomination election of board members, board officers, I'm sorry. We now would like to open the floor to nominations for vice president for the school board. Any nominations, Mr. Dunn? Mark Mann, any more nominations? Seeing no, I'll close nominations. Is there a second for Mr. Mann? Joanne Taylor? Great. All those in favor? All right, Mr. Mann, congratulations on vice president.
Thank you,
So now we'll do the oath of office for Mr. Mann.
Mark Mann, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education and Vice President according to the best of your ability?
Next, I'll open the floor for nominations for the position of assistant clerk. Any nominations for assistant clerk? Joanne. Deanna Muth, second. Mr. Mann. Any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, unanimous. Deanna, congratulations. And thank you.
Deanna Muth, do you swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of Board of Education Assistant Clerk according to the best of your ability?
Thank you. And the last board officer position is the position of deputy treasurer. I open the floor to nominations for deputy treasurer. Mark Mann, Mrs. Taylor is nominated. Any other nominations? Any second for Mrs. Taylor? Frank? All those in favor? Approved. Very good. Welcome, Joanne, as deputy treasurer.
Joanne Taylor, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the Board of Education Deputy Treasurer according to the best of your ability?
Thank you, Joanne. That concludes our board officer appointments and oaths of office. Moving on to the next item is the Board of Education appointments and stipends. There are several listed here. Any questions or comments regarding the appointments and stipends? Anything new, Linda, that we need to know about in that list?
No, there's nothing new. However, I wanted to point out that there are only two increases
Yep.
from the prior year on two of the appointed positions for the district clerk and the tax collector.
Very good. Any questions on those appointments? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve those appointments. Kathleen, I need a second. Cheryl, all those in favor? Approved. Next, we have the appointment of impartial hearing officers for Committee on Special Education. Now, there's not a list here, but there's a posted list, I think you said, Linda, on the SED site.
We were advised by legal counsel not to provide a list of names. However, we are using the system provided by New York State.
Very good. Okay. Any other questions on the impartial hearing officers appointments? Seeing none, need a motion to approve that. Joanne, I need a second. Kathleen, all those in favor? Approved. Appointment of election workers for the district vote. Any questions or comments? No? Need a motion to approve those. Gianna, I need a second. Somebody? Frank, all those in favor? Approved. We have the designations of our, several designations for funds, newspaper, Board of Education meetings, etc. Any questions on those items? I need a motion to approve those. John, second. Deanna, all those in favor? Approved. Authorizations. Any questions on those? Anything, Linda, that we need to know about? Nothing new. Okay, very good. Need a motion to approve those? Cheryl, second. Kathleen, all those in favor? Approved. Adoption of the policy manual for the 21-22 school year. Any questions on the policy manual? If not, need a motion to approve the policy manual. Joanne, second. Deanna, all those in favor? Approved. The next item is the review of district policies on investments, purchasing, and parental involvement. This is an annual approval process. Any questions on those? Nothing new there, Linda?
There's nothing.
Nothing new. Okay. Existing policies, no changes. Yes, Mark.
So, to do readings, first reading, second reading.
I think these policies have already been adopted and approved, dated back in 2018. So unless there's changes or amendments to those policies, they wouldn't have to go through the process. But we do have to do an annual adoption under the organizational meeting. Maybe the policy committee can look at that if there's some questions about the policies. And we'll
We can do that.
process follow up.
Yep.
Okay. I need a motion to approve those policies. Adopt those policies. John, second. Joanne, all those in favor? Approved. The next item is the Medicaid compliance program for 2021. We're adopting the program tonight, and then in the winter is when the director of PPS, Molly McGrath, will do the training, the compliance training. Any questions on the Medicaid compliance program? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve that. It's Kathleen, all those in a second. Joanne, all those in favor? Approved. Procedures for post-issuance compliance with federal tax law. It's a mouthful. Linda, any questions or anything on there that I need to know about, or the board?
There's nothing new, but basically, when we borrow money, we can only earn a certain amount of interest. There are requirements that we need to follow in order to maintain our tax exempt status.
Very good. Need a motion to approve that? Cheryl, second. Someone? John, all those in favor? Approved. Interscholastic athletic rates, any changes here, Linda? Looks pretty, they've also remained the same, correct?
That's correct. I'm sorry.
Okay. No changes in the rates for 21-22. Any questions or comments? Need a motion to approve those rates? Deanna, second. Joanne, all those in favor? Approved. Certification of board members' addresses. Just take a look, please, if there's any changes. I think they're all accurate. Right? Good. All right. So we are certifying those are correct. Need a motion to approve those. Cheryl, second. John, all those in favor? Approved. Board committees. Everybody good with the committee assignments for this year? We had put that out a couple months ago, and everyone had an opportunity to select. So it looks like we have a full group for committees. Any questions or comments on the committees? All right, need a motion to approve that. Deanna, second. Kathleen, all those in favor? Approved. All right, I think I got everything. Anybody see anything I may have missed or anything like that? I think we're good. Jeannie, did I get everything? Linda? Good. All right, with that, the next item is to call for adjournment and closing of the organizational meeting. Need a motion to approve that, to adjourn? Joanne, second. John, all those in favor? The meeting is adjourned.